We begin, though, with the nukes. Yes, specifically the risk, danger, and the scandal of a former president hoarding these stolen and top-secret documents that we're learning now, more and more involving nuclear weapons. There's reporting that the Feds seized documents about the nuclear capabilities of foreign nations, which they say Trump was holding illegally, as well as intelligence about a foreign country's nuclear readiness. There's also material about U.S. operations that's so secret, top security officials don't even have it, according to Washington Post reporting. It's not good. Now, it took a legal process to recover the allegedly stolen materials. A search warrant, an affidavit, which we've now reviewed partly, a judge overseeing all of that. But I have to tell you, this is the kind of problem where people can obsess over the law and in a way lose sight of why there are such strict intelligence laws about this, and why veteran intelligence figures from former CIA chief and general David Petraeus to Clinton National Security Advisor Sandy Berger have all been convicted of crimes relating to mishandling intelligence. Let's be clear. The issue is not whether you're experienced in this field or once had the powers that come with some of these offices, or whether you're a combat hero or sympathetic to people for many things you've done in your life. The issue is not whether you once had top secret access, which of course all presidents have while they're president. The issue is very clear. And I'm telling you, we cover the law when it's relevant, but I don't want to be legalistic as we learn more and more about this. The issue is more than the law. It is about whether ex-government officials put the U.S. in danger by abusing the access to the materials they once legitimately had. National security veterans speaking out on the latest nuclear news.
This is quite shocking.
It does not make any sense to me at all. This is potentially profoundly damaging.
If I had had those in my house after leaving office, I would be in handcuffs by this time. And so I think the Justice Department has gone out of its way to show deference to the former president.
This new Post report, which so many officials describe as shocking or worse, does not distinguish or state what classification level those nuclear documents were. The wider legal heat on Trump, though, is getting the attention of his own former attorney general. If you're counting, Bill Barr has now made two notable, newsworthy appearances on Fox News, a channel that is known to be watched by many Republicans, Trump fans, and the president and his circle for sure. And Mr. Barr has gone on there absolutely hammering his former boss, rebuking the legal strategy in this case, and then today suggesting the Justice Department that he once led is getting very close to indicting Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think, as I've said all along, there are two questions. Will the government be able to make out a technical case? Will they have evidence by which that they could indict somebody on, including him? And that's the first question, and I think they're getting very close to that point, frankly.
Very close to that point where they have the goods to indict Donald Trump. And then you can go to all the other debates that exist, and some are legitimate, about the prudential considerations, that's what lawyers call it, about whether you always indict a case when you have the goods. Prosecutors don't always do that. But why is Bill Barr going out there day after day to hit Donald Trump, who he so vociferously and loyally defended for so long? And why is the Republican Party apparently, at least in its somewhat serious wing, and Mr. Barr, who we've reported has come up short on certain issues, is still what we would call a serious person, attorney general in two different administrations, why is this wing of the party taking a real hard second look at all the nuclear secrets that were allegedly stolen and then pried back out of Mar-a-Lago?